Why do we lose motivation so quickly? You start out with a goal, you feel motivated, and you get to work. But after a while, sometimes just a few hours or minutes, the motivation fades away. And suddenly, the work feels a lot harder. Maybe you got inspired by a video or some David Goggins edit, and that gave you a temporary boost. But it didn't last, and you're back to feeling stuck. This cycle of losing and gaining motivation is really common, and I have definitely experienced it myself. And I know a lot of people go through the same thing. So why does this happen? And I think that a part of it is that we expect progress to be fast. We want to see results right away. And when we don't, it's easy to get discouraged. Our brains are wired to look for quick feedback. And if we don't get it, we start to wonder what if we're doing is even worth it. It's like going to the gym for a week and expecting to see a six-pack. And when that doesn't happen, it's tempting to just give up. But the truth is that most things that matter take time. The work you do today usually pays off much later. It's not always obvious in the moment, but every bit of effort adds up, even if you can't see it right away. And I found that reminding myself of this helps me to stay patient and keep going, even if it feels like nothing is happening. And another thing that makes a huge difference is how you see yourself. If you believe that you only work when you are motivated, you will act in that way. But if you start proving yourself, even in the small ways, that you can show up and do the work regardless of how you feel, your self-image will start to shift. You will start to see yourself as someone who follows through, not just someone who waits for inspiration. For 2 weeks, I promised myself to sit down and work for at least 20 minutes every day, even if I didn't feel like it. And some days were easier than others. But the point of this wasn't to actually accomplish something huge. It was just to show myself that I could be consistent. Over time it got easier and I started to trust myself more. I realized that I didn't need to feel motivated to make progress. I just needed to show up. And of course, there were days that I slipped up or didn't do as much as I wanted. And the important thing here is not to beat yourself up. If you miss a day, just get back up and do it the next day. Progress isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Another thing that helps is breaking your work into smaller and manageable pieces. If a task feels overwhelming, it's much harder to get started. But if you can break it down into steps, it feels more doable. And sometimes just telling yourself, I will work on this for 10 minutes is enough to get you moving. Once you start, it's often easier to keep going. And it also helps to track your progress, even in the small ways. Maybe you can keep a journal or just make a note of what you did each day. And looking back and seeing that you have been consistent, even if the steps were small, can be really motivating. And most people won't try these things, but if you do, it can really change the way that you see yourself and your work. And if you ever start to doubt it, just remind yourself why you started. Remember that real progress takes time and every bit of effort counts. And that's all I wanted to share. If you're struggling with motivation, you're not alone. Try some of these ideas and see what works for you. Good luck.